Hello, today I'm going to share with you my evening skincare routine that I've been doing over the last 10 weeks after taking a full month off all my active skincare and all my skincare devices. I just cut out all prescription retinoids, in fact, all retinoids for a full month and all devices, just to kind of give my skin a reset. I'll show you some before and afters at the end of the video. A lot of these products you guys have asked me to review, especially the OneSkin products, and I'm also introducing a new way to use microcurrent. I'm going to jump into my bathroom, wash all this makeup off, and show you step by step everything I've been doing in my evening skincare routine lately, and at the very end show you a few before and afters. During the last 2 months, I've been using both the Goat Cleanser and the Soft Wash by Dermatology. I love them both. I would say this is a little bit more jelly-like and this is a little more creamy. So if you're going to do a creamy cleanser, the Dermatology, you're going to love it. It's great for sensitive skin and it just leaves your skin feeling so soft. The Soft Wash does the same thing. It's just the textures are different. I can use them as single cleanse, double cleanse. They pretty much get all the mascara off. Every once in a while, I have to come in with a micellar water. The micellar water that I've been using lately is by Outset. Super gentle on the eyes, and it's by Scarlett Johansson. It's one of her new launches. So these are the two cleansers that I've used over the last 2 months. After cleansing, I come in with my ZIIP routine. If you're not familiar with the ZIIP, this is a micro nanocurrent device, and we're usually used to hearing about microcurrent, how it kind of lifts and tones the face. Well, the ZIIP is slightly different because it has nanocurrent. When you're using a microcurrent routine, like the lift that comes right out of the box, you're getting both microcurrent and nanocurrent. I've had a lot of questions from you guys lately, like what in the world is nanocurrent and how is this going to help me? So nanocurrent is that very, very low current. It's that type of current that mimics the current naturally occurring in our bodies. And it's a very low level current. It's something you can't feel. Like microcurrent, you can kind of feel it, kind of giving that little tug on your muscles and kind of that tingle. Nanocurrent, you're not going to feel that. It penetrates deeper into the skin and it stimulates the cell to produce ATP, to produce collagen and elastin. Well, I'm currently using the crystal gel. Just switched over to this from my silver gel that finally ran out. This has willow bark, and it also has glutathione, which is a peptide and an antioxidant and goes great with the nanocurrent routine because it's all about cellular repair overnight. So that's why I like to pair these two, especially in winter. This is super hydrating. So think of doing your nanocurrent routine, your 10-minute routine, like masking. You're using the nanocurrent to gently drive in all these great products. You're sitting, you're relaxing for 10 minutes with your mask, you're running the nanocurrent over your face and getting an amazing treatment that's very gentle for the skin, but that's going to work over time. And a quick reminder, if you're considering introducing microcurrent and nanocurrent into your skincare routine, always be aware of your personal health conditions and talk with your physician and your dermatologist before starting any kind of new skincare device. Moving on to the next steps in my skincare routine, the OS1 Peptide. I am at the very end, so I've opened it up and I'm going to use a little bit of this. Now early on, when I was starting this routine, I would use the anti-pigmentation formula first. Where did that run off to? By Mother Science, I would use this one first and then put the OS1 Peptide in, but they really want you to use the OS1 Peptide directly on clean skin. So I've kind of switched that up. They say if you're using like a watery serum, you can put the OS1 Peptide after and then move on with the rest of your skincare routine. But I currently don't have any other serums that are kind of on the watery side except my Laneige toner, which I'll occasionally pop into my evening skincare routine as well. Sometimes as a mist, I'll put it in a mister. Sometimes I will just splash it on. So if I were to use anything before the OS1, it would be something light, something water-based, and a very thin serum. For example, I'm going to be introducing the PHOTOZYME, the Youth Recovery Serum, into my skincare routine, and that's a very watery, thin serum. So I would probably put that on first and then put on my OneSkin. I did think this was a moisturizer before I learned more about it, but it's not a moisturizer. It's actually a serum they created a moisturizing base so that more people would use it and it wouldn't be such a foreign thing. I guess not everybody uses a serum, but technically the OS1 is a serum. We haven't really talked a lot about what this peptide is all about. And I told you in my earlier video that I would learn a little bit more about it and bring what I've learned to you. So that brings me to my next step, which is their launch of the eye cream. I think it was about 2 years ago that they brought out the eye cream, and 3 years ago that they brought out the topical supplement. So their eye cream has the proprietary peptide, just like the facial supplement does. It's a little bit thicker, but it has a more potent amount because this area of our skin is a little bit different than the rest of our face. And they also decided to increase the amount of OS1 peptide and the potency of the eye cream because this is the area that really crinkles and wrinkles more than any other area. So that's what they were saying in the little Zoom that I listened to. They also were explaining that the OS1 peptide helps with our senescent cells. So what in the world are senescent cells and why do we need to regulate them? When our skin gets damaged, it goes into either repair or it dies off. But it also can go into this senescence where it no longer replicates because it has damage. It also starts the inflammation cascade. The senescent cells send out these signals so that our immune system can come in and sweep everything away. But the problem is that all this inflammation is still sitting around and it starts to affect the cells around it. So what the OS1 peptide does is prevent the spread of that inflammation so that we don't have as many senescent cells which contribute to the aged look of our skin. So it's supposed to boost skin from the inside. It's not really topical. It sinks down into the deeper layers of our skin and really gets to work at the cellular level. So I've already applied my OS1, coming in with my anti-pigmentation serum, which would typically be the Mother Science Malasthasen, but I think I'm going to continue using this. It's been working great, especially if I see the pigmentation start creeping up again. I'm going to be using that magical combo that I used to get rid of it, but I'm out of it. Really considering reordering it. It works so nicely on my pigmentation in combination with everything else that I was doing. But this is tried and true. I love the Dr. Idris Hyperfade Serum. One of my all-time favorites. It's super hydrating, helps keep down pigmentation, and makes your skin just look incredibly glowy. Absolutely love this serum. One of my all-time favorites. Now, my retinoids. I have had to scale way back to non-prescription retinoids. I tried introducing it even once a week over the summer. My skin wasn't having it. This has been a battle that I've had for about a year. I'd used Altrino, which has a little bit of a buffer in it with some HAs and a moisturizer. That didn't work. I scaled it down to a 0.025. That didn't work. I scaled it down to once a week. That didn't work. So I just cut out all prescription retinoids, in fact, all retinoids for a full month, and all active skincare and all active devices. So just to kind of give my skin a reset. After taking this break, over the last 2 months, I've slowly started introducing retinoids back into my skincare routine, starting with Remedy, their dark spot corrector. I had no idea until I started perusing the ingredient deck that this would be my entry level back into retinoids. It has retinol in it in addition to all the great anti-pigmentation ingredients in here. So this was the retinol choice because it made it easier. I didn't have to add 2 types of products into my routine. I could use one. It had my retinol and all my anti-pigmentation ingredients right in here, ready to roll. So I've been using that, and then of course the Malasthasen because that's a different type of anti-pigmentation, and I was really trying to cut that down after the summer sun that I'd gotten. So I finished this up. This is encapsulated retinol, so it's slow trickle of retinol, and I believe it is a 0.1%. I'll double check. Now I can't read it on this. I'll find out and put it down below. And then this lasted about 6 weeks, and I think I was overusing it because they say to use a pea-size amount, but I was going for my face and my décolleté. And ironically, just as I finished this up, they came out with their new nighttime anti-aging formula. And it's called Remedy for Aging. It has also an amazing ingredient deck. It has retinol, OL, and retinal, AL, retinaldehyde, which is something I wanted to start introducing into my skincare routine because retinol takes a couple conversions to get to retinoic acid, whereas retinaldehyde only takes one conversion. So you're just getting that much closer to the gold standard of retinoic acid. So this was a great find. Let me read some of the ingredients on here. I won't go into great detail because a lot of them are pretty much familiar to you guys. Retinol, retinaldehyde, arginine just helps smooth muscles. I did not have great luck with arginine as a single ingredient formula from The Ordinary. Completely irritated my skin. This doesn't at all. So if you're interested in trying arginine, which is supposed to be called the Botox in a bottle, it is not, but it's supposed to help topically reduce the look of wrinkles just by smoothing out the skin, and you have tried the single ingredient and found some irritation, try it in this formula. I have like absolutely no irritation. It also has Matrixyl 3000, which is an amazing combination of, I believe, 3 peptides, and to support collagen and elastin production, glycolic acid, gently exfoliating, niacinamide, which is in everything, lightening and brightening, and also resveratrol and ferulic acid. So it was a great way for me to bump up my use of retinol to retinol plus retinaldehyde. Both of these are encapsulated, so they release over time. And of course, retinol takes 2 conversions to transfer into retinoic acid in the skin, and retinaldehyde only takes 1. So you're just getting that much closer to the gold standard of retinoic acid. So it was a great way for me to test my skin sensitivity in a very gentle way. I've had absolutely no irritation using this product. So I'm layering my retinol after the anti-pigmentation serum and after the OS1. This is super yellow, but I haven't noticed it staining my sheets as long as I keep it in a nice thin layer. So I use about 2 pumps. And don't forget the back of your neck too. So just a quick recap. I did my cleanse, I did my skincare device of choice, which was the ZIIP Halo, and my 3 treatment steps, starting with OS1, a pigmentation serum, and my retinoid. And I actually think I have seen a difference in my skin over the last 2 months using everything in this skincare routine that I've shared with you, starting with the new introduction of different types of anti-pigmentation formulas. The OS1 Peptide that's helping repair my skin from the inside out, and also introducing Nanocurrent into my evening routine, giving it all that cellular regeneration to create more ATP, produce collagen and elastin, calm down those senescent cells, and help with anti-pigmentation. Like I have always told you, it takes a village, it takes time. It has taken me 9 years to learn about ingredients, to get my skin as healthy as it is. It honestly takes time and commitment. And I want to show you now the before and afters over the last 2 months. This is my skin, 1 month, no actives, no skincare devices. And then 2 months later. For reference, my pictures were taken 10 weeks apart in the evening after I did my cleansing, but before I've done any of my skincare, in the same place with the same lighting. Looking at my before and after side by side, the immediate thing that I see is that my after picture has definite more glow, more luminescence, more radiance. The other thing that strikes me right away is that my nasolabial folds and marionette lines in the after picture definitely look deeper. I don't really have an explanation for this, except that perhaps I'm doing more of a chin tuck on my after photo inadvertently. And I have gained about 5 or 6 pounds since my before photo, and weight gain can definitely affect the look of the face. As we look at the before and afters of my right and left sides, I see again more luminosity. You can tell here that my nasolabial folds and marionette lines are exactly the same. I think it was just an angle thing in the front-facing photo. In my opinion, again, the skin quality on my after photos just looks better overall. I'm going to zoom in and see if we can see these same improvements on some close-up photos. Overall, I'd say the improvements are less obvious in these zoomed in pictures, but what I do see is there's more even skin tone and there's less redness to my skin. What I can also tell you is my skin feels much less fragile, less irritated, less sensitive, like it has a bit more bounce to it. The other thing is I got my first compliment on my skin in ages when I was out and about. One of the college students mentioned that my skin was absolutely gorgeous. I was at one of my favorite pressed juice places, and I have been drinking a lot of fresh juice lately. So maybe that has something to do with it. Who knows? But honestly, I think it's a combination of everything: lifestyle, skincare habits, doing the best you can for your skin inside and out, and also using quality ingredients and finding the right combination that works for you. I hope you have enjoyed today's video. Thanks very much for watching and wishing you all a fantastic day. Bring my retinoid. So I've been